Congratulations, Cat TV, for 30 years.
From the Bennington Police Department to Cat TV, congratulations on 30 years. What an awesome partnership we've had with Cat TV over the last 30 years, helping us in the community, helping us solve crime, getting our information out there, and being so supportive of us here at the Bennington Police Department. Thank you so much, congratulations, and hopefully for many years of continued success with Cat TV.
Congratulations, Cat TV, for 30 years.
Woo!
Congratulations to our media partners,
Cat TV, for
celebrating 30 years.
My name is Lisa Beyer. I'm the Executive Director of Cat TV, and we're here at Mayfest. Cat TV has been covering Mayfest for 30 years, if you can believe it.
Wow.
And I think this is my first time in 30 years actually hosting this program. Because if anybody knows me, they know that I hate being on camera. But here I am. They roped me into it for the 30th year. So I'm joined by William Gardner, who is our operations manager.
Yep, so I had been host before, so I'm looking forward to hosting for the first time with Lisa. So yeah, we're here finally. First time since 2019. So we're here. We're a little rusty, but we're working out the kinks.
I think the team did great getting going today, and it looks like the Mayfest crew did a great job. Everybody's out here enjoying themselves. If you're at home watching, it looks like the rain is holding out, so we hope you come down and join the festivities and enjoy seeing everybody for the first time in a long time. Obviously, they hadn't had Mayfest in 2 years because of the pandemic, so it's really nice to be back. So we're celebrating, as I said, our 30th anniversary here at Cat TV.
Yep.
And I've been here for 25 of those,
wow.
believe it or not.
25.
And William has been here for 21 of them.
I think so, yeah.
So together we've been here way too long.
Yes, so we'll see you later.
But we really love what we do. We love the work that Cat TV does in the community, and we love the crew that we have working with us today. And we're going to give you an opportunity to meet everyone.
Yes.
First, we're going to introduce some people who have had a long history with Cat TV. So if I could ask Tim Foley to join us today.
I've had a long history.
Yeah, you've had a long history. He's got his mic on.
Okay.
All right. So this is Tim Foley. Many of you probably know him as the video production instructor at CDC, now Southwest Tech. And when did you retire?
I retired in 2019, just before the pandemic.
2019.
I also taught theater arts.
Theater arts
and I
as
was
well.
the director at Mount Anthony. So
Yeah.
director of high school, the theater director.
So you were very busy.
Yes.
And you were involved with Cat TV many, many years ago.
Yes,
Can you tell us about
I was the president of the board for a little while. I think when we
Yes.
hired you.
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah, it was a fun.
So how did you get involved with Cat TV back then?
Do you know Greg Eplerwood?
I do.
I got involved with him. We had a group that wanted to do videos called Activists for Diversity and Democracy. And so we created a series, and we did a weekly series, which is
That's really
wicked
a
hard.
lot of work.
It might have been a monthly
lot of
series.
work.
But anyway, we got a group of people together, and we all took classes from Al Chakotay, who was a
great.
wonderful teacher. And we learned how to use all the equipment. We learned how to use cameras, and it was really great. So we had a fun time. We did storytellers. We had people come in and talk, all kinds of people.
Now, were
come in.
you already doing the video class at that time?
No.
No?
I learned how to do video, all of it, from Cat TV.
Oh, wow.
And I started taking classes from colleges, you know, after that. But I talked to Greg. They offered, Mary Beth Moore at the Career Development Center offered me the job. And I said, really? And I asked Greg Epler-Wood. He said, yeah, sure, you could do it. And little did I know how complicated it was.
Yeah.
That was
That's really
fun.
great. So that's just such an amazing story to think that Cat TV really helped you build a career that you
Right.
didn't even expect.
Right, and then I worked with Greg a lot, and he taught me a huge amount. I learned how to edit, how to shoot. That was back in the old day with the tapes.
Oh yeah, we remember.
Yes. Yeah, William and I definitely
You were
started
around,
in the
yes.
analog days.
Yeah, it's so much easier, and the equipment you guys have is wonderful.
Yes.
And I'm currently working on projects, so it's very good.
Yeah, tell us about the project that you're working on right now.
I'm working on a project to talk about Green Mountain Express, which is Green Mountain Express is the bus system that is Bennington, and I don't think people know anywhere near enough about it. So I interviewed 2 or 3 people. It's going to be fun.
Good.
I have to get it edited. That's the hard part.
Yeah, that's
The
time
editing is the
consuming.
part I'm
Yeah,
not particularly good at. But
sure.
anyway.
Well, is there anything you want to tell people about Cat TV's 30 years and, you know, I don't know, maybe encourage people to get involved and how to support us?
Well, I think that Cat TV is a great place to work with people. And the other thing is, if you have an issue you want to talk about, Cat TV is the place to come. No matter what you think, you can come and talk about it. You can get a group together. You can create it takes work, but it's really fun work, and it's a convivial place. Everyone is really, really great. They're all very I've really appreciated it. And
That's
you
great.
can join by going to Cat TV. Come down here today, talk to them, and the best thing is you get to use the equipment. You have to produce something on Cat TV, but it's really wonderful. And they have training.
We do. We have a great staff that does all that, and like you said, the equipment, we have state-of-the-art equipment that, you know, most people can't afford, so we make that available to everyone. Tim, thank you so much for spending a couple minutes with us.
Thanks for coming down and helping us volunteer today.
I'm
That's
glad to
another little
volunteer.
tidbit. Yeah,
Always good to volunteer for Cat TV.
Thank you very much.
Thank
We
you, guys.
appreciate it.
Thanks, Tim. Next, we are going to welcome another longtime member of Cat TV and somebody who's worked with us for many years. And actually, I believe that he worked before the current iteration of Cat TV.
We'll have to ask him. Good morning, Don. How are you?
Good morning, all.
Let's welcome Don Fisher. Don, thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
So can you tell us a little bit about your first involvement with Cat TV? And I believe it was before the new Cat TV.
Well, I think other than Mike Von Ohl, I think I'm the oldest living person that started public access in Bennington.
Isn't that amazing, guys?
Yeah, that was back in the late 70s.
Wow.
When we were Channel 12.
Yep.
And all of the equipment was owned by Better TV.
Yep.
And we started out with the programming, and we used to do a daily 5-minute a half-hour news program. A daily show. Oh yeah.
Wow, what a commitment.
That must have been an incredible amount of work.
Well, we had a couple of people that wrote the news, and it was all taken from the Bennington Banner, which came out in the morning, and so we would rewrite it for television and do the news program. We did a 5-minute weather, and it was just
That's great. We actually have the camera that you actually used during that newscast, and we have a picture of you operating that camera.
That's right.
In our studio, so people should come down and see that. That's an amazing thing.
And it has the 12 on the side of the camera.
It does.
That was actually a picture taken at the Bennington bookstore. And there was a woman that read stories to kids, and we used to televise that.
Oh, cool. Wow. So now you're still involved with Cat TV, which we're just so thrilled. You did serve on our board of directors for a long time.
Yeah, I did.
And you've stayed involved. So tell us what you're doing with us now.
Well, I have there's a weekly program from Jacob's Well Church over in Cambridge.
Right.
And we record it every week. And actually what we do is we record it through a laptop with a stick in the side, USB port, and record it onto that, and then bring it home and stick it in a laptop at home and edit it from there. And believe it or not, my wife and I used to sit down, and she would tell me what she wanted to be in the program.
Wow.
And finally I said, this is kind of ridiculous. Why don't you just edit it, and then I'll put it on.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we do. My wife edits the program.
Oh, wonderful. That is so great. Can you believe how much things have changed with it, technology?
There's not even a comparison.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And then you actually send the programs to Tony.
Yeah.
And he puts them on the air for us.
Puts them on the air. We started out. I would burn a disc and I would bring it to. Cat TV. Yep. And then we finally worked it out so that I could just send it to you from home.
Send it from home. Huh?
Exactly.
That's great.
Yeah.
And Don, you also supply our movies for the Cat TV movie night, which has been a huge hit.
Yes, I do.
So
yeah, I have a rather large collection of movies that I'm more than thrilled to supply to Cat TV. They're sitting at home. They're not doing any good there.
Yeah. Well, we've loved it because Tony has turned it into a Cat TV movie night.
Yep.
I know it.
So he'll create different themes and advertise them. So during, around Halloween, he'll create kind of
horror kind of fest.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now actually is the Sherlock Holmes. So we're right in the midst of the Sherlock Holmes series, which is really awesome.
But all of those are coming from Don. But is there anything we're going to wrap up because we have other people we're going to interview, but is there anything you want to tell people about your 30 years experience with Cat TV? Actually longer than 30 years.
Yeah. No, I think the thing that I enjoy the most about Cat TV is just how it's grown and how more sophisticated it's become.
Yeah.
It's like my experience. It's like having been at the dawn of broadcasting.
Yeah.
Right.
And and you've just done so much with it. I think it's such a great thing for the community.
Well, we appreciate that, and we're glad that you're still a part of it, and you helped get us here, so we can't forget that. So thank you very much.
Well, you're more than welcome.
Great.
All right, I think we're going to go to a little bit of a break, and we'll be back with you in just a couple minutes. Mayfest on Main Street, Cat TV.
We are back. We are back.
Better than ever.
So right now we're joined by Mike Cutler.
Who this guy?
Who this? Me.
He's our production manager.
Yes.
And so Mike, how long have you been with Cat TV?
Well, let's see. Started in 2009.
Oh, let me do some.
Yep, do some numbers here. Moved away for 2 years, so I mean, almost 10 years. Take the 2 years out of there, but yeah. I started in a position like you'll hear from Josh in a moment, part-time, covering meetings.
and I worked with Tony and Dan at that time, and then came into a full-time for a year, and then moved away for a bit, came back, worked my way back in, I guess, as they say, but happy to be in this role. Got a great team here of Jim and Josh in the production department, along with myself. We cover, as everyone knows, but I'll say it to the camera, a lot of live meetings every month.
Yep.
In this pandemic world, Zoom meetings, hybrid meetings, still in-person meeting, which is nice. We're here at Mayfest. We're excited to be here, and yeah.
So what do you like most about working for Cat TV?
Yes, William. Working with William. No,
I think William
yes.
paid you to say that.
Yes.
No, no.
Oh, wait, here's the $20. So no, I think it's the camaraderie. Like you're saying, we have a great team right now. We've had a great team through the years, but I think right now it's a really great team to do what we want to do. We've got some new equipment today. We've got a great new switcher board. We've got a streamer here. We're live. We've got a great PTZ camera on the pole cam, we call it. So on the street cam, we're able to zoom all the way down, move around. We're really excited to implement that. But
and a lot of that equipment is, we have to give Mike some credit for that. He has really done a lot of research and kept up with the trends and the technology and making sure that our equipment is up to date and that we're able to offer not only the staff for them to cover things, but for the community to come and utilize our equipment. Right. So that's a big part of your job.
Yep. Yeah, and I think it's important to point out all this stuff that we're actually using to go live, we literally got within the last month.
Yeah, a lot of new stuff this year. Not live stuff, but we have the great little DJI cameras. If people have seen us out in events, and they're always like, "What is that little stick camera you've got?"
I don't mean to interrupt you guys, but there's a cute puppy alert over here.
Oh yeah, there's a puppy right there.
Wow.
We're like squirrels. We're just attracted to the puppy.
We are Cat TV though.
Cat
I know. I haven't
Yep.
seen any
True.
cats yet, but I've seen quite a few puppies.
Oh, Judy Essie's is petting the dog.
It's a really cute puppy.
It's fluffy.
It looks like a golden retriever
It
puppy,
does.
so you
It does.
can't get better than that.
No, you can't. So, but yeah, we're excited about the new equipment.
Yep.
We're excited about graduation coming up in 2 weeks. We're really happy to be hopefully bringing some of this new equipment to that. We're using a Boxcast system right now to go live. We also have a new Teradek streaming system, which will really implement well with our Castus, our master control and playback stuff. So we're really excited.
Yeah, so I just wanted to point out, because we're getting close to our time here, that about two and a half years ago, Mike was really thrust into the management role for the production department, and he has taken that charge and really led us forward within a pandemic. So I just want to make sure that he gets his proper thanks for that.
No, that's part of it.
So he's really driven that department, and like you said, we have a great team right now. We're out and about. We're covering more than I think we've ever covered, and we're covering it differently.
Yep.
So we're really proud of Mike and the production department in general for all that they've done.
Well, thank you. Yes,
absolutely.
And you'll get to hear from the other two, and you can thank them because they do a brunt of the work covering things.
Awesome. Great.
All right.
Oh, we've got a minute. All right.
One other thing I wanted to ask. What do you think, we're celebrating our 30 years and how important Cat TV is in the community. What do you see as being important to us in the coming years?
I think accessibility, making sure that, as Tony will probably tell you, I won't spoil it, but making sure we're available as many places as we can be. People always said, "Oh, I don't have cable, I can't watch Cat TV." That's not true anymore. We're on our website. We post a lot on our YouTube page, our Facebook page. We're going to have more things to do, more options hopefully in the next year or two for people to consume our content and support us as well.
Yep.
I think that's an important piece of it is just, because people are watching Cat TV in so many different ways now. It's not just on the Comcast channels, but it's also through our website, through the Facebook page, through all of those other venues. It's important that people also support us financially, and that's part of what we're celebrating with our 30 years is really encouraging people to become members and support us financially so that we can keep doing the work that we're doing.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Couldn't say it better. Well, you're welcome. Thank you. I'm going to hand the mic right off to Jim, and we can talk to Jim.
Great. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much.
Welcome to the party, Jim.
I'm telling you. I'm also the floor manager, so I'm going to do the stopwatch now.
He's doing double duty today.
Excellent.
So, Jim at the beginning of today said thank you to me because apparently 3 years ago,
3 years ago.
3 years ago, we hired Jim at a Mayfest, so that was 2019.
2019, yes.
Yeah. So I didn't remember that, but it was a very good day because Jim has been a great part of our team. And why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do?
I will, but let me first start back. I started as a volunteer with Cat TV. Cat TV taught me how to use production equipment, cameras, microphones, projection, PA speakers, and it was all free for me to loan, for me to borrow because I was a member of Cat TV for the measly fee of $25
a year
per year. Yes, and the staff at that time, it was Mike, it was Beck. They took the time to Brian. They took the time to train me. They answered all my questions. They helped me with any concerns. They were always accommodating. William and Lisa also, they were always encouraging of my efforts and some of the stuff I would bring. Sometimes they couldn't use it because it was way out there, but they said, keep trying, Jim. And but what I do is I'm a production assistant. I cover meetings. I cover things around town. The thing I'm proudest of is I do a lot of what we call our 3 minutes. Like when the splash pad opened, we went down there and I cover things like that.
Job fair most recently.
Job fair. These are the things that Bennington, I love this town. And putting Bennington in a good spotlight in a 3-minute little story of what we're doing, what we're accomplishing, and how we've made it through the pandemic. It brings me joy, and it's great content for our viewers.
It is, and I think in the past, a lot of Cat TV content was
sort of long form, right?
Right, exactly. And people aren't used to consuming media that way anymore. People want the story. They want, the beginning, middle, and the end. And so we're really trying to adjust and evolve to be able to offer more things like that. And Jim has been a great partner in doing that. So, and you also cover a ton of meetings.
I love them.
Both in person and on Zoom. And, during the pandemic, that was a big shift for us because, everything immediately shut down and our production team had to figure out how can we still offer these meetings and keep the doors to democracy open. And
we pivoted quickly. We didn't miss a meeting.
We did not miss a meeting.
So I think that needs to be said.
So our production crew really worked very hard to collaborate with the different town boards and school boards and make that happen immediately. So, we've had a couple hiccups, but overall, we've been steady through the whole pandemic, and I think people really saw how important Cat TV is during that time. So.
Well, and the thing about the pandemic, especially going with where we were broadcasting on Zoom, a lot of people were becoming more involved in governance.
Yes.
And that's been important.
Yep.
And that is one of the main things. When I started at Cat TV, that was one of the main things. I love the minutia of a planning commission talking about, well, we're going to see how we can get this for you done and everything like that.
Well, it's a perfect fit for you because you do love government and making sure that you're staying in touch with what's going on and the decisions that are being made. And we know that there are so many people, viewers out there, that rely on watching those meetings to make sure that they're part of the decisions that are being made.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, people can't make it to meetings. They have their kids' athletic events. They have this. They're working late, yada, yada, yada. When they know they can either tune into Facebook and watch it live, or they can go to our YouTube channel.
And that, the quick cuts is another thing.
That was a William collaboration. It was his idea, and I think it's a great way to spotlight all the different things Cat TV is doing in a week. We put it up on our Facebook page, Cat TV Quick Cuts, and you just get a little snippet of what we're doing and how to tune in and watch them then.
Exactly. Yep.
Great. How are we doing on time?
We're down to 8, 7, 6.
Any last words? Yeah.
I want to thank Cat TV. I want to thank Bennington for the opportunity. After I retired, I was sitting on my front porch waving at cars, barking at dogs. I want to thank you for keeping me vital and engaged with our community.
I think the community should pay us for employing you.
Speechless.
Yes, yes. Okay, we're going to bring up Josh on that note.
Thanks, Jim.
All right.
Okay, here is the youngest member of our team,
member here.
Josh Bousset. Josh is a production assistant, and you've been with us for how long now? About 2 years as well?
Oh gosh. Well, I started from
tell us the tale. You started...
Well, my school, Grace Christian School, had a class for me that needed me to go into a nonprofit in Bennington to work for, I believe it was for an English class. And I had some doubts and some second thoughts, and actually my sister was the person who recommended me Cat TV.
Yep.
And she was actually also the one that called up Cat TV. I believe my school asked her to, and she called you guys up, and you guys said, "Oh yes, please bring them in." And that was about, I believe, in 2018. It was fall of 2018.
Yep.
And then that was only for one semester. So then I left around towards January, February. And then later that summer, I thought to myself, I said, man, it would be great to have a summer job. So why not work part-time at a place that I already knows me? And
I
called you guys up, and you guys brought me right back in. And wouldn't you know it, my first ever area I helped with was graduation at MAU. And now I'm coming full circle for graduation this year. It'll be my, I believe, 4th graduation to help you guys with.
They grow up so fast.
Actually, no, it'll be my 3rd. The 4th one I missed because I had to graduate myself.
Oh, well, that's important.
That's right.
Yes, that's kind of important.
So this will be my 3rd graduation, and I'm looking forward to helping you guys out with that.
Awesome. Yeah, well, we're very happy to have you, obviously. We're trying to get Josh to start a review show.
Yes.
So I figure if I put the pressure on him, you know,
what are you going to review?
Oh gosh, whatever I want, I guess. So.
Is this a video game?
Oh,
is this
it can
movie?
be anything. I believe William and I were discussing a little bit of a little movie action.
Is it restaurants? Are you reviewing food?
We could branch out into that. So we're hoping to give a young take and an old take.
That's the goal we're going for.
Yeah, movie review.
So. Now, who's old and who's young?
Oh, I think that's
I'd be old.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I'd be old.
I got confused for a second. I just wanted to make sure.
Yes. So, Josh, tell us a little bit about your day-to-day activity at Cat TV. What do we have you doing? What do you like doing?
Oh, gosh. Well, thankfully, you guys have been making me do a lot more recently.
Yes.
But basically, for now, I've been doing the lovely digitizing of the old content, and we've been getting that on the channels for our 30th anniversary.
Which is a huge project for us.
Yeah, just to fill everybody in on what that means. So we have a huge archive of 30 years worth of videotapes, and we started kind of a small project to just make some of those files digital to commemorate our 30 years, and that grew into a bigger project, which was let's archive all of our videotapes.
6,575,319.
And then let's create a database online for all of that. So we're really working really hard on getting all that done, but without Josh, it wouldn't happen.
Yes, thankfully I'm the man for the job.
Yes.
I come in usually towards the afternoon, and I start digitizing. Some are about 10-30 minutes, some are like 3 hours, so it depends really on how well I'm feeling about sitting down and getting those done. But usually it works in nicely because I'll have some meetings to cover later that night. And
roll right into it.
Oh yes, and other day-to-day things for me if I'm not digitizing is either coming in for a nice meeting with you guys to chit-chat and work on something else, and going to some meetings around Bennington.
Yeah, so you actually cover Shaftesbury.
I cover
town
Shaftesbury,
of Shaftesbury.
yes.
So that's important.
And you cover a lot of the school boards.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
So, yes, the reason why, too, this digitization project is so important is, like Lisa said, we have programs from the early 90s, and they're on VHS tapes, and those tapes are degrading over time. So we're trying to get them done as quickly as possible so we don't lose any vital content. And, it's probably going to be a bit for that project, but once it's done, we'll have a searchable database, like Lisa said, and we'll be able to find programs from 30 years ago. So we're super excited about that. Anything else you'd like to add?
What do you think? What would you tell somebody of the younger age about getting involved with Cat TV?
Oh, well, I would say it's, great opportunity to learn about technology. I know with the up and coming, you know, social media and videos that everyone wants to make. It's a great opportunity to learn about it and learn how to edit and make it very nice and unique. And I definitely will say that what I've learned, especially from Mike, especially, you know, he's taught me how to edit, he's taught me how to cut, and I'm sure Jim can vouch for me as well that
if you could
we have taught much from him, or learned much from him, excuse me.
Yeah, no,
and,
Mike's a great teacher. Yeah.
I'm eager to learn more.
Awesome. Yeah. So you're calling out folks of your age to come down and to
learn something new.
Yeah. Awesome. And well, it looks like that's the end of our time. Unfortunately, I would have kept talking. But I think we're gonna.
Thanks,
pass it over
Josh.
to Tony. No
We
problem.
love having you part
Yes.
of the team.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Josh.
All right, next
Tony.
up is Tony Connor. And let's see, Tony is our digital media coordinator. And the title for that job has changed so frequently that I have trouble remembering what it is.
Me too.
Well, it's evolved as the equipment.
Exactly, that's
has
exactly
evolved,
where I
so.
was going to go with that. So, Tony joined us in 2019.
Exactly.
And he basically makes sure that everything, all the content plays on our channels.
That's it in a nutshell.
All right.
That's pretty much
Well,
how
that's
it
the same
is. Yeah, we're all done here.
So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what you do on a regular basis?
So I try to make sure that the channels have plenty of content. What's produced by our production staff, what's produced by our members and volunteers, and I pick up some content to fill in from around the state, actually of state of Vermont, from other PEG stations, and occasionally things from area places like NASA. Actually, some of the science programs that we've got are from NASA, and I try to make sure that that schedule is active and is interesting and changes regularly, weekly. I try to change the programs that are there. We really encourage people to actually get involved, become members, start producing their own content. We would love to produce nothing but local content and show it on our channels.
Absolutely, and we actually have a goal for this year to have 50 new programs, new local programs. So we need your help. If you have an idea for a show, let us know.
Please.
We can help you produce it, and you know, it could be just about anything.
Can be about anything.
Whatever you're interested
we'll
in.
play anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, close to anything. Almost anything.
But I mean, it could be, you know, about civic issues. It could be about history. It could be about art. Be about music, cooking.
Covering your child's sporting events, getting involved that way.
There are so many opportunities,
things.
and you know, we have the equipment and the training for you to be able to come and do that. And Tony's part of the team that makes it all happen.
I think the biggest shift that I've seen since Tony has come on board was a real focus from the viewer perspective. So how are people viewing Cat TV out in the community? And I think you've done a great job on creating blocks and finding content for those blocks and just meaningful content. And there's something always playing on Cat TV. So sometimes in the past, we'd have a bulletin board that would play, you know, for in between programs, and sometimes it'd get a little long. So I think Tony's done a great job in filling up space with local stuff, making sure people see it, and just creating unique content. So I think that's been the biggest shift.
Well, one of the challenges has been that our channel locations changed right at the beginning of the pandemic. So Tony was new. We had a global pandemic starting, and Cat TV's channels changed from 15, 16, 17 to 1075, 1085, and 1095. So we were faced with a lot of challenges, and we had a goal that we wanted to rebrand and really create these content blocks. And in the beginning, when we started meeting in person, we had, you know, shields and masks and gloves and everything else to try to meet so that we could plan this out. And we've come a long way from that.
And it worked well. I think the transition went well. The branding is really good, and I think
we know that some people are still having trouble realizing
Finding
that
us,
we moved because we're so high up on the dial now. But that move was necessary because of the technology with Comcast, and so remind your friends and neighbors that we're at 1075, 1085, and 1095 on the local Comcast channels.
And the one benefit of that move was we were able to get our program guide going, so what's playing on Cat TV at a particular time, which we really haven't had in the past. So now you can go right to our channel, see, oh, Bennington Select Board's coming on at 7 o'clock. You could actually record off of that as well. So while we weren't so enamored with the change in locations, we certainly do like the aspects of the program guide. So.
Is there anything else you want to say?
Well,
Tony?
we'll be, in addition to that, we're trying to make content available in different ways. So we're bringing our own video on demand service up. Within a month, you'll be able to see that, go right to that site and pick up content and watch it at your convenience, just like YouTube. Or
and one of
like
the benefits of that is going to be the meetings will be available immediately after the meeting. So we won't have that long wait for processing the media, which frankly takes all day sometimes.
Hours. Yeah, it takes hours.
I mean, a 3-hour meeting takes literally, 8 hours. So we're hoping to be able to turn over that processing a lot quicker. So I think we're going to go to break, but we're just glad that you're part of our team, and thanks for being here today.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, I think we'll
Thanks.
stay right
All right,
here.
we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in a little bit. Welcome back to Cat TV's coverage of Mayfest. I'm Lisa Beyer. I'm the Executive Director of Cat TV. I'm joined by William Gardner, who's our Operations Manager. And also joining us is Matt Harrington, who's the Executive Director of the Chamber of Commerce, which is, I always call it the Bennington Area Chamber of Commerce, but it is
it's the larger region.
Western Vermont Chamber of Commerce.
Yes. Yes.
So thanks for being here with us
Thanks for having
today.
me.
I know it's a busy day, and it sounds like you were here earlier helping out.
Yeah, it's
carrying tents down the road.
It's one of those. It's one of those traditions. It's an unsaid rule that I think in our partnership, and as you mentioned, Lisa, just our history being in Bennington, we always feel like it's appropriate to show up somehow for Mayfest.
Yes.
And so whether it's John or now Jenny leading the show, we want to make sure that we still show our support and help out any way we can,
And
including
vice
carrying
versa.
tables.
Vice versa, John was a major volunteer for chamber events.
Yes.
So that's just the way it is here in Bennington, and that's how we get things done. Absolutely. So Cat TV has had a long partnership with the chamber. I mean, dating back to Moosefest and
Probably before.
Well, before that, but Moosefest really, I think, cemented our collaborations and all of the fests after that. But you were telling me that you had kind of an interesting introduction to Cat TV.
Yeah, well, when you asked me to come on here, I was just thinking about my personal history with Cat TV, and on this weekend, believe it or not, 21 years ago, my dad passed away. And Lisa, you went out of your way. I think you poured through all these videotapes of my dad, and you put together a really great reel. And we still use that reel. We still share it, and I think we even still have some of the VHS tapes that you created for us. So it was just one of those moments where we really saw the value personally for Cat TV, who had captured all of Dad's great commentary, Bob Harrington, for those that are watching, and then being able to turn around and produce that for us. And it just always, made something special for us.
I think that's amazing, and I remember doing that and sifting through all of those tapes and finding clips of your father and putting them together. And I'm glad that was something that was helpful to your family.
Yeah.
Well, I think it speaks to, a lot of folks know that Cat TV's out covering board meetings, and Cat TV's at Mayfest, and Cat TV does Battle Day, and Cat TV does graduation. But we also do all these other things like this that really, don't necessarily, it's not in the public eye.
Right.
So, and we were talking earlier about our, 5 million tape collection.
You watch out, guys. You're going to be making a lot of tapes if you push
Yeah,
this.
that's the thing. I mean, we have so many of those moments
Yeah.
of your dad,
Yeah.
of every, people who were iconic Bennington figures that are just in that database. So so I just want to kind of point out to other people that those are the things that you don't see that Cat TV does, and I think that's why.
And it's
people love it so
interesting.
much.
Right now, today we have Mike Cutler put together a great show of the last 30 years. So we have the TV out here playing, and there's Tim Corcoran, there's a young Stu Hurd, there's Lodi Colvin. There's just so many of the people that have made Bennington amazing over the years.
Yeah, well, Cat TV has really captured the history and the legacy, right? And we still have radio interviews, and we might even have newspaper articles, but we know that there's something dynamic about video. And you guys over the last 30 years have really captured, Lodi doing her thing at Select Boards, Timmy doing his thing, Stu, and so it just kind of really rounds it all out.
30 years of Mayfest, 30 years of Battle Day, of Bennington Select Board meetings, of celebrations, graduations. I mean, it's an amazing archive of material that we've really helped preserve the history of this, of our community. And that's something I think William and I are both really proud of.
Absolutely, Absolutely. I know we're getting closer to our time, but I wanted to make sure that I mentioned that, during the pandemic, you played a pivotal role, you in the hospital and Cat TV, the partnership of just getting weekly, sometimes even daily updates on where the pandemic was, what was the new safety regulations and things like that. So I don't know if you want to just talk about that for a minute.
Well, it's a testimony to how much local matters, because the way that we felt about it was, well, you're getting information from the health department, you're getting information from the governor, you might be getting information from another association that you belong to, and yet the feedback we got time and time again was personalizing Dr. Dobson, personalizing Tom D, just being able to bring it down, and the people that trust, and we trust our locals. So if Tom D is talking about it or Trey Dobson is talking about it, we're going to do it. And that was what was so powerful about the partnership with Cat TV.
It was, and I think it eased a lot of people's minds because you're getting so much information from the CDC and the national dialogue, but how does that affect us here? What do I need to do for my family and to keep my community safe? And that was really, because it was a tough time for all of us. We were all struggling and worried and not knowing what was going to happen, but we really appreciated you kind of taking that on and being like, hey, let's do this. And
well, we appreciate the hospital too, being able to hop onto that and understanding the power of media, and I think that was important.
Yeah, it really was. So I know that there's so many other things that we're collaborating with.
We launched Garlic Town today, so we know we're coming back this Labor Day. That was big. We've partnered with Will in the past. We have Summer Homebrew coming back, so many more festivals. I'm sure Cat TV is going to be there in some way, shape, or form.
And you're doing all sorts of the Shire programs. Is that what you call it? I can't remember
Explore the
now.
Shires. So we've done those. We kind of paused on those as we had to report out more of the medical part, but we may be picking those up, especially with all the new shops. That's the fun part.
Boy, and I think I ran into you a couple months ago and I said I'm giddy with the excitement of what's happening here in Bennington, and being able to walk and drive through town and see so many new businesses and people coming here. And it's remarkable, and I'm sure you feel a sense of pride knowing that we came out of this.
Well, we came out of it stronger, and imagine just complimenting the Mayfest. The Mayfest has been around for so long that it's seen Bennington through its best and its worst, that it's going to be exciting to see Mayfest with all these new shops, and and even the power of that, the power of getting thousands of people out here to experience maybe Main Street or the side streets for the first time. That's the power of it.
Right. Yeah, and we just got a reminder about the Stay to Stay program. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so even here today, we actually still do our program where we introduce people from around the country to Vermont, specifically southwestern Vermont. We had paused that program a little bit about inviting people here during COVID, but we still did a digital call once a month, and we had hundreds of people go through that and get on a call with us. But this is the first weekend we invited them back. Of course, what better weekend and invite people to Bennington
Mayfest.
than Mayfest. And so we actually had 16 families join us yesterday. Throughout the day, we talked about workforce, we talked about housing, we talked about school and education, recreation, activities, and then it was really great to parlay that into, oh, stick around and don't forget to come to Mayfest. You know, we preface it, we don't do it every weekend.
Right.
But this, I ran into 4 of the families here today. So they're out and enjoying it, seeing Bennington in all its glory.
That's great. That's great. Well, we're happy to partner with you and the Chamber.
Absolutely.
And we hope that we have a lot more projects and programs ahead of us. I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
We're always coming.
And fests.
Yes.
And fests.
So before we go on break, I just want to give a shout out to my mom, who's hopefully watching. She's a resident at Brookdale, recently new to Bennington. So, Mom, if you're watching, welcome, and I hope you're having a good day. Love you. And we're going to go to break.
Hi, Mom.
We're back. We had a little bit of a technical glitch, but our team got us back up and running.
Look at that.
So,
record time. Excellent.
I don't know what you missed and what you caught, so we're just going to recap. I'm Lisa Beyer with Cat TV, joined with William Gardner from Cat TV, and Chief Doucette from the Bennington Police Department. So we were talking about, you have been in this community for 30 years. Cat TV is celebrating its 30th anniversary this year. And we're talking about the wonderful partnerships that we have and how we work together to make the community better. And I think one of the things that we were going to talk about was, well, what do you see? I'm going to put you on the spot. What do you see as the benefits of Cat TV in Bennington?
We love Cat TV in the police world and the fire world, and you know the difference between just having a community with a radio or a newspaper. We can go live like this. We can cover parades. We can do public safety announcements and just keep running them for the month of December.
Right.
We can also do Halloween safety tips, and we can run them. There's all sorts of benefits that we have with Cat TV. In fact, the police department just last year became a member of Cat
Yes.
They
Yes.
are.
Right?
You're
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Look at
an
that.
organizational member. It only costs $100
Yep.
a year, and it really helps support our funding because our funding base continues to dwindle as people stop using cable TV, and we have to find ways to recoup that, and we also have to find it gives us opportunities, I think, to build value with organizations like yours.
Listen, and we need Cat TV, not just for our public safety announcements, but letting the community know what's going on.
Absolutely.
Like, look here today at Mayfest.
Right.
There's all sorts of amazing things going on here at Mayfest. I mean, it's very well attended. There's lots of vendors, lots of good food. I mean, it's killing me.
I can't wait to get over there. I know, me too.
We're getting ready for our lunch.
And,
Yes.
and we're letting the community know what's going on. The weather's holding out for
Yep,
us.
looking good.
We're doing
Absolutely.
pretty good.
And we really do. I mean, think about all the meetings that you guys cover.
23
and
live
the
meetings a month.
23.
Yeah. So
Wow, I'd like
that's
to-
just live. So
But the bottom line is that, I mean, we absolutely need Cat TV in this community
Thank
to let
you.
people know what's going on, and we appreciate everything. I know the town of Bennington appreciates Cat TV. My people appreciate Cat TV.
Appreciate you as well.
My lieutenant, Cam Grandy, we go into Cat TV.
Oh.
He gets nervous, because we do those PSAs.
I gotta say, the best PSA I saw was the Halloween safety tips. You did a phenomenal job.
They did a great job.
We can't wait for every Halloween just to replay that. And
Yes,
not only did you give great safety tips, but you and Cam were in great form. And I think it shows a side of you guys that maybe not everyone sees all the time.
Absolutely.
So it was great to be able to
Right.
show that other side.
Those PSAs let us be human, too.
Absolutely.
It
Yes.
humanizes us.
Yes.
Although we have a lot of fun.
Yep.
You know, we are human.
But
So.
they're useful. They're getting across a useful
Yes.
message that the community needs to know. And,
Yep.
you know, we're really kind of Cat TV centric here today, and I just want to say this is kind of the first time in our 30 years that we've really just talked about Cat TV.
Yeah.
Normally, we're bringing in 20 nonprofits and
Yep.
we're letting them talk and share their mission. And today we said, you know what, for our 30th, we're going to talk about what we do. But at the same time, I don't want to discount the amazing work that our police department does and your crew and how much we appreciate knowing that you guys are keeping us safe every day.
Well, thank you so much. And I want to tell you, that $100 is absolutely nothing. I mean, when you stop and look at the cost of equipment and what it takes to get people to do what you guys are doing, you know, we applaud you and thank you for everything that you do, really.
Well, thank you, Paul.
We appreciate it, and we hope that you have a good day here today. It looks like it's a very
Crowd is great. I mean,
joyous crowd.
yeah.
There's no issues. I
Yep.
hope that everybody just really enjoys the time out here. As you were saying earlier, you and I were talking, you were saying how, you know, I think everybody is just so happy to be out
Yes.
and
Absolutely.
seeing each
Weather's
other
nice. Yeah.
and enjoying it. And, you know, we're going to be talking to John Shanahan and Jenny Dewar a little later. And, you know, kudos to them for
Absolutely.
being able to pull this together.
Getting this together. A lot of handshaking going on today.
Yep.
A lot of hugs going
Yep.
on today.
Yeah.
Still got to be careful.
Yes,
A lot
absolutely.
of hand
Yep.
sanitizing stations
Yep.
around, so let's use those. And, you know, look, it's so nice to see all these people from Bennington, Shasbury, and Pownell, and
Yep.
all the people that are visiting. So many people seem happy to be out, and Bennington needed this.
We do, and hopefully we can all get through this pandemic and get on the other side of it. Is there anything else you want to talk about with anything that's going on in the department right now or in the community?
We have all sorts of things going on in our
course you do.
community. We've been working really hard with the select board, working on our community policing advisory review board. We're looking forward to getting that going and working with members of the community to see what they think the police department should be doing and teaching them actually what the police department does and educating them.
Absolutely.
So, you know, there's two sides and we're going to bring it together and we're going to make positive things happen.
And that, you know, the fact that you're having the conversations and you're doing the work, I think means a lot to the community members.
Absolutely.
And so that's really important. So where are we at with that that committee? Have the members of the committee been seated? Or?
So they haven't been seated yet. They're still interviewing interested people, and that announcement will come soon. Who the select board is going to appoint, and then the training begins. And the police department does have a role in that. And I'm proud. I mean, listen, you know, some people don't like it, but I can tell you I support it. And the bottom line is we are leaders in this state making these things happen. So.
Absolutely. Doing it here.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Well, I think we're about to wrap up, so we'll let you go on with your day. I thank you for. I passed you on the street. I said, "Hey, you want to come on Cat TV? We have a couple extra minutes." So.
I started to run, and you.
You weren't quick enough.
Isn't that what happened?
You weren't quite quick enough, unfortunately.
No, he
but
was a very
yes.
willing participant.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
We appreciate our relationship with you and everything that you guys do.
Yep.
So
Great.
we're going to head to a quick break, and we thank you for staying tuned.
Thank you.
Back Mayfest 2022. We are so excited to be here. We haven't been here since 2019. We have a great crowd. The weather is holding out. We got a nice little breeze going on. So the vibe is super chill. Everyone's having a great time. And I am so excited because I have a very special lady here, Linda Dunnigan from the Bennington Free Library, amongst many other things. So we sort of started a partnership with the Bennington Free Library recently. I know we've had a long history over the years, but I think I'll start, Linda, with just asking you sort of how you got involved with Cat TV, got any, funny stories, things like that, because I also know that you have a long history at Cat TV as well. So, yeah.
Well, I first got involved with Cat TV when we, many years ago, decided to do a literacy show for children.
Yes.
And it was story time in front of children in the Cat TV studio.
Yes, yes.
And my husband, Michael Horowitz, did.
I remember these.
Artwork, and it was a blast.
It was a blast. It was.
And Willie Jones was our.
Yes.
We
We love Willie.
Talent.
Yes.
And he was great. He was fun.
Yeah.
And we did 13 shows.
Wow.
And my part at that point was as a producer and a writer.
Yeah.
And I love being behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I did some camera work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And took some classes.
Yeah.
And it was a blast.
It was, and I remember the response was huge. I remember, you had actual kids come into the studio.
Yes.
Willie would read to them.
Yes.
They were super animated. They really got into it, especially with Willie reading.
Yeah.
And again, the one thing that really sticks out in my mind is those sets. Those sets were fantastic. The animation, the drawing was great. So
it was a great family affair for Michael and I to work
absolutely.
on that together.
So most recently, we've started a cool collaboration as well. So why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Okay. It's a collaboration with Cat TV as our filming and editing, which allows Carrie Guthier, who's the other children's librarian, and I to take a walk around the block.
Yes.
It's called Read Around the Block.
Love it.
And this is perfect that the chief was on before.
Good timing, right? Good timing.
It was good timing.
Yeah.
Because that episode is playing on Cat TV.
It is.
And Carrie and I went to the police station.
Yeah.
And we got a full tour.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was fascinating.
Yeah.
And we got to meet Gracie, the canine.
Everyone loves Gracie.
And right. And Patrolman.
Yeah.
Morowski, who's her trainer
Yeah.
and partner.
Yeah.
And Chief Doucette read a story.
That's great.
He read
That's great.
Officer Buckle and Gloria. So this is aimed at preschool children, primary grades, kids who love to listen to picture books.
Yeah.
And anybody really.
Yeah.
So that's our latest episode.
That's great. And refresh my memory, you've done several of these. So what were some of the other partnerships and other businesses that you've been?
We went to the Vermont Dollhouse and Toy
Yes,
Museum.
yep,
So
yep.
that's right around the
Yeah,
block.
it's right over here. Yeah.
That's right. And oh gosh, we
You've been everywhere. Yeah.
we have been everywhere.
Yep.
And
Bookshop?
we went to the bookshop.
Yeah. The new bookshop, which is fantastic. Fantastic.
They're some of our, of course, they're some of our favorite people.
Yeah, well, I think you touched upon something that's really important. Cat TV has evolved a lot over the 30 years that we've been here. And in the past, it was we would train people, and then they would utilize the equipment, and they would go and film and edit, and that worked great 30 years ago, even 20 years ago. But in today's day and age, people are super busy. So what we've kind of done is try to say, okay, you come to us with the idea, and we'll provide a lot of the production work. So that's kind of been a big shift over the years that has been fruitful, I think, to organizations like yourselves and to us, because we get this content. Otherwise, you would have, probably got burned out. It gets difficult, especially the editing, and then a lot of times people stop.
Very time-consuming.
It is, and people don't realize that.
We
So
did a lot ourselves during COVID.
Yes.
And that was really fun. But it is very, very time-consuming.
It is.
And now that the library is open full-time, it's been great to tap into your services.
Awesome.
And we've been able to do this with the support of Sunrise.
Oh, great.
Because
Community partners.
we got a grant from them.
Yep.
The Community Direct Services Community Grant. So
Great.
that allows us to go to the toy store, to go to the candy store,
Yep.
to allow children and families to go into some of these places.
That's great.
Especially during the pandemic.
Yeah.
They
Our
weren't able to.
time has flown by, but I want to give you the opportunity if you have a couple events or things that are coming up. Yeah.
Well, right now, there's a book sale going on at the library.
Literally right now.
And I've been there since the crack of dawn.
Oh.
And people have been streaming it.
Oh, that is great to hear.
So it's there. We still have hundreds of books.
Okay.
Waiting
Yep.
for anybody who's listening to this.
And that's till 5 today, or?
It's till 4.
4, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's till
great.
4.
So you still have plenty of time to get there. Yeah.
And we also have summer reading coming up, Ocean Possibilities. We're going to have events, both adult, children. We take part in community events, the Pride Parade, and let's see, I don't want to...
Oh, your list is very impressive. I'm not surprised, though. This is the kind of...
Right.
How about one more?
Farmers Market.
Okay, yeah.
And we'll be at the Juneteenth celebration.
Great.
On June 18th
Awesome.
at the middle school.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Linda. So you guys have a website. I'm sure a lot of this stuff is listed on there, so in case they want to come check it out.
Thank you. Website, Facebook page.
Yep.
And come into the library.
Absolutely. That's what people forget. So thank you, Linda.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I think we're going to go on a quick break, and then we'll come back with more live on the street interviews at Mayfest 2022. Welcome back to Mayfest 2022. Beautiful crowd, beautiful skies. People are excited to be out and about. We haven't been able to do this since 2019. I have a special guest here. I have with me
Art Crew.
Yeah, from the Bennington Rescue Squad, huh? Yeah, so you guys have a booth. I can see it right up here. It looks like you guys doing some demonstrations today. So tell me a little bit about what you're doing today.
Yeah, well, first we're here hopefully that no one needs us, right?
Absolutely,
So we're
first and foremost, yep.
Yeah, we have members of our bike team out there kind of patrolling, making sure there's no injuries, nothing that we can address.
Yeah.
And then our booth is also set up to answer people's questions. So people are coming up asking questions about, what are we doing? What are some upcoming things? And we're also, like every other employer, looking for help. And we're explaining, what it's like to be an EMT and what's the process to become one and how you can become one through us.
So what's that interaction been? Have you had a lot of folks interested? Have you
we are having some people interested. And it's a good opportunity for people who are interested in healthcare to get in and get involved and get training and be an employee right from day one. So it's a great entry mode into whether they want to go into EMS, emergency medical services, or if they want to go into other forms of healthcare.
So it's almost kind of like a springboard. You get there and then you have lots of opportunities once you're in to kind of pick a different path of where you'd like to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how long have you been with the Bennington Rescue Squad?
I've been with the Bennington Rescue Squad just about 3 years.
Okay. I think you told me off camera you joined in 19. Right?
Yes, just in time for COVID.
I was going to say, so what a trial by fire, I guess. Hey, you're in a position and you're dealing with all this. So we talked earlier about how we had to make a lot of changes and transitions during COVID. What sort of things did you guys have to, I'm sure the list is long, but what sort of things logistically that you guys have to deal with over the last few years and are still dealing with?
Yeah, so, the biggest thing that we're still dealing with, as everyone is, right, is supplies and costs. Our vehicles are all diesel. If you've driven by a diesel pump recently, you know where that is.
Yep.
But is getting supplies. Since the time that COVID started, we've been struggling with that.
Have you seen any new members, any crew members hop on in the last year or so?
We do. We are getting some new people. COVID was tough, and that some people got out of the healthcare market. Was not a. But we're starting to see an influx of new people. We're starting to see people come in from out of the area, which is great. So.
Well, I got to think too. Events like this, they'll draw people into Bennington, and then they can see that the downtown has really come alive. There's lots of new shops, and they see new folks, and there's opportunities here. So I think that's kind of one of the hidden benefits of an event like this. People get to come and see what Bennington is all about.
They do.
Which is really nice.
Yeah.
So what do you guys got going on this summer besides Mayfest? Any exciting things coming up?
So, well, for us, summer is kind of a busy season.
Gotcha.
So, we have an EMT class that just started.
Okay.
We're planning for fall training programs that, and information about those pops up on our website all the time, which can be found at. But right now we're really looking at what's going to happen with our with our summer volume. Unfortunately, as the heat goes up and we're seeing temperatures get warmer.
Yeah, that's a trend. That's not going to go the other way. So.
Yeah, and we do see in that summer months that the heat negatively affects people with underlying medical conditions. So, so our big pushes right now are making sure that people that need to stay out of the heat do, and that they're paying attention to their own health and staying hydrated.
Yep. And they're out and about. They're hiking. They're biking. They're swimming. So I can imagine, this is kind of your full alert mode. So, well, great. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you.
So, folks, you guys will be here till 5 like us. So, if you have any interest in talking with the Bennington Rescue Squad, please swing by their booth. And hopefully, Cat TV and the Bennington Rescue Squad can rekindle. We used to have a long-standing partnership. We used to do a lot. So, hopefully, over the next couple months after your busy season, we'll reach out and maybe we can get something
Absolutely.
going. So, great.
Sounds great.
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and more live interviews of Mayfest 2022.
Hello, we're back here at Mayfest. We're really excited to be here. Switching up the hosts for a bit because these are two of my favorite people here from Old Castle BPAC. We have Jennifer Jasper, the executive director, and Nathan Stiff, fresh from Texas, the artistic director here for a fresh new season of Old Castle. We're really excited to be doing 30 years of Cat TV here, but we're also sharing with you guys a big anniversary.
We do. So Bennington Performing Arts Center, the home of Old Castle Theater Company, we are getting ready to house the Old Castle Theater Company that is launching their 50th season. I'm going to let Nathan tell you all about that. We're very excited. We'd also like to say that coming up in June for us, we have the Story Night, the Best of Story Night will be live, part of the Thursday Night Live on June 23rd at the Splash Pad. So we'd love to see you all down there and look forward to the fall when the Bennington Community Theater picks up their season and continues the programming after this guy is done. So Nathan?
Hi everybody, we're starting off our 50th anniversary season at Old Castle Theater Company with our first show, which is called Souvenir by Stephen Timperley. It's about a sort of infamous singer named Florence Foster Jenkins, who thought she was a beautiful singer, but she actually couldn't carry a tune at all. It is hilarious, it is touching, heartwarming, it's a great show, make you feel good about yourself.
Wasn't there a movie about that?
Right, Meryl Streep did a movie about Florence Foster Jenkins.
It's the same thing, okay, great.
Yeah.
Good.
And that runs June 17th through the 26th. And then our second show of the summer is Fully Committed, directed by Jennifer Jasper, our executive director. This is a one-person show about an out-of-work actor. The character runs a reservation line at New York's hottest restaurant and plays all the people that call into the restaurant. So one actor playing over 40 parts. It's going to be a really good time. And that runs July 22nd through the 31st. And then our third show of the season is a show called Sheepdog by Kevin Artigue. It's being directed by Kirk Jackson, who's a professor at Bennington College. And this is a powerful, moving drama about an interracial couple between two police officers, one African American, one is white, and their whole relationship and their whole world gets sort of shifted off its axis when one of them is a part of an officer-involved shooting. So it's timely, it's powerful. It looks at this issue with sort of fresh eyes. I think something that people are really going to be interested to see about. And then that's our summer season. Right. We're going to do one more show this season in Christmas time. We're going to start a new tradition, hopefully, here at Old Castle with a holiday show. We're doing It's a Wonderful Life, a live radio play.
William's excited.
Yes, excellent. And that runs December 9th through the 18th. So bring your family back down here to downtown and come see the
Directed by
show.
Christine Decker.
Oh, yes.
Everybody loves Christine Decker, yeah.
Who doesn't? That's right, that's right.
So it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's an exciting season.
Yeah.
If you want to know more about everything about Bennington Performing Arts Center and Old Castle Theater, hit our booth. We're at A1. You can spin a prize wheel. You can enter a raffle for free tickets. It's all free. Come on down, say hello, and pick up information about Old Castle season.
And we're really excited about our partnership. We film some events. We try and do some opening night things to get people excited about the shows. So we hope to continue that going forward. That's really fun for us. So, but exciting season. 50 years. That's incredible.
50 years.
30, so. Well, we're at 50. You'll be at 70. We just can't catch up. Hey, that's that. So great. Well, thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Nathan, for taking some time to stop down and enjoy and get out and see some local theater this summer. So,
thank you so much. Enjoy Mayfest.
Well, we're gonna just jump ahead.
Well, I'll tell you, tickets are start at $25. We're trying to do our best to keep things accessible to everybody. And for every run of every show, we have a pay what you will night. The Wednesday night performance, you can come in and pay anything you want. You can give us a paper clip, or you can give us $1,000. Whatever you want, you can come on in and see the show. So we try to keep it open, get as many people in the theater as possible. We just want to share all the work that we're doing. So please come join us.
Yeah, that's great. From years past, it was a little pricier.
Yeah.
And some people runs weren't as successful. Maybe.
This way you can get a babysitter, go out and have a nice evening, and enjoy one of the restaurants along Main Street and an evening of theater. What could be better than a downtown night in Bennington?
That's right.
Yeah. With this?
There you go.
Right? Great. Well, thank you again for stopping by. Congrats on 50 years. It's exciting.
Thank you, Mike.
Look forward to Old Castle Theater, and then don't forget the seasons afterwards, Story Night, Community Theater, all that stuff. So we'll see ya.
Welcome back to Mayfest. Cat TV's out here on May Street covering Mayfest for the 30th year.
35th. Oh, we're at 35. You're 30.
I've been here for 30 years, believe it or not, and I've been here for 25 of them.
Amazing.
I know. So I am Lisa Beyer. I'm the Executive Director of Cat TV, and I am joined today by representatives from the BBC, the old and the new. I wasn't calling you old.
I heard it.
Yeah, you're old. He's old.
I have John Shanahan, who is the former director of the BBC, and Jenny Dewar, who is the new director of the BBC. And the BBC is the organization that puts together Mayfest for the last 35 years. So that is an amazing accomplishment, and it's an amazing accomplishment that you've done it this year, coming out of the pandemic. Everybody needed this, and it's been such a great day.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the weather has held off. The weather gods are on our side.
That's it.
So we're so excited to welcome you, and
Thank
we're
you.
closing out our 2 hours of live coverage of Mayfest. And I wanted to bring you guys on. Usually we would start our coverage with John for the last 15 years. You were with BBC.
Yeah.
So this year we thought it would be nicer to end our coverage and bring you both on and kind of do a little symbolic handing over of the Mayfest torch. But John, you want to talk a little bit about what it's been like working with Cat TV for the last 15 years?
Of course, yeah, it's been miserable.
I'm only kidding.
And it's not just Mayfest. We love having you here because, you know, it gets to share it with the whole town, or even wider than that. But, you know, the downtown and around town show we used to do.
Yes.
And everything you covered. So it's just that we have Cat TV in Bennington, and you bring a lot to our community, and we love having you here on Mayfest, especially giving all of our not-for-profits a chance to be spotlighted, and it's about time you guys get some recognition.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. You know, we thought about it this year as our 30th anniversary. We're like, hey, you know, let's make this Cat TV centric. So that's what we're doing. And to be honest, this is actually my first time hosting the show.
Yeah.
And I've been here for 25 years, so we figured it was a big enough event that I would come in front of the camera, which, as everybody knows, I don't really enjoy. So, anyways, but Jenny, please tell us, like, what was your experience? I mean, what an amazing thing. You're getting a phone call from one of your lovely admirers.
phone calls and radios.
Someone else who knows what a stressful day that Mayfest can be. Anyways, tell us what your experience was. What does it feel like today? Whatever you want to say.
I mean, the biggest thing is the weather. Like, we were looking at the weather every 15 minutes.
Yes.
And everything was fine, and then it tanked, and it looked like we were going to have hailstorms and, I don't know, tornadoes and hurricanes. And so yes, and I kept speaking to the weather goddess, who I believe in, and then I found this beautiful little trinket that has, it's not a trinket, it's a gorgeous necklace that has a goddess. She's right over there. And the rain has stayed away, so that's the biggest thing. And then all these people came to our party. It was pretty exciting.
Huge crowd. Really huge crowd.
But I just quickly, I know it's about Cat TV, but I want to thank our sponsors: Mission City Church, Harvest Christian Ministries, Leaf Guard, MVP, Southwestern Vermont Medical Center, and the Bank of Bennington. Thank you for letting me do that.
No, you need to thank your sponsors. They help you do this and make it all possible.
Yeah.
So you're pretty pleased with how everything is coming out today?
Oh, I couldn't be happier. And I'm so glad John was able to be here for us, because, I mean, we were like, what do we do next? And he's like, oh, all you do is this. Oh,
you can't have Mayfest.
He was just a phone call away.
Oh, absolutely.
It just doesn't happen.
Just a phone call away.
Everything went so smooth, and I was like, this is really fun without the stress. And then I saw Jenny, and I'm like,
he saw my face. I also really thank Cat TV for doing, I mean, I had this idea of wanting to show live art and making the art as well. Like, so while the art is happening, it's being videotaped, so you actually see the art. So and I'm really glad that you joined in with us to do that, because that couldn't have happened without Cat TV being right next to him and making that happen. So appreciate that.
All of the people that we've talked to today, we've talked about what a great community we have and how many people there are that work so hard to make it better. And you guys are two of those people.
Thank you.
We appreciate you and everything that you're doing to make Bennington better. So thank you very much. And we're going to take another quick break, and then we're going to be wrapping things up.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thanks.
Have a good day, everyone.
Cat TV team.
Thank you, all of you.
You've been doing it all day, so I had to get one in there. But yes, welcome back to Mayfest 2022. We are so excited to be back out on the street. First time since 2019. Crowd is awesome. Weather is awesome. If you're not down here, get down here. You still have a few hours left. So,
boy, I feel like I'm at the carnival or something.
What's it going to take to put you in this car today? Okay, what do we got?
Well,
we're at the end of the show, folks, so, you know.
Yeah, we've been live for 2 hours, so we really appreciate you tuning in to Cat TV. Just a reminder, you know, a lot of people are having trouble finding us because our channels did move. We're no longer at channels 15, 16, 17. We're at 1075, 1085, and 1095. We're also on our website, which is catamountaccess.com. We're on our Facebook page, which is Cat TV Bennington, and on YouTube, which is also Cat TV Bennington. So we hope that you're finding our content and that you're tuning in to the things that are important to this community. We cover 23 live meetings a month. We cover countless events. We have live programming from those meetings. We have local programming from community members just like yourself. You can become a member. You can produce your own content. We'll help you. We have the equipment, we have the training, we have the know-how, and we've got the channels. So all we need is you.
Yep. So as you alluded to earlier, Lisa, we're really funded by cable revenue. So if you don't have cable out there and you're enjoying our services, you're not really paying for Cat TV, if you will. And we've really seen our revenues decline over the last few years, and the forecast doesn't look so good. So if you appreciate what we do, if you enjoy the fact that we're here on Main Street today and that we're going to be covering the live graduation MAU in a couple weeks, and we're going to be covering the Bennington Battle Day Parade a few months later, the way to make sure that that keeps going in the future is to support Cat TV, and you can do it for $25 a year.
$25 a year.
So, you know, you can support us, and not only that, you become a member, you get a sweet bag, which I don't have here, unfortunately, right now. And if you joined before,
June 30th.
You will be entered to win a gift basket. So all local stuff, Cat TV swag, local gift certificates. So a little bit of an incentive if you were on the fence about joining. What better way incentivizing that?
And by joining Cat TV for so many years has just kind of been here, and everybody knows it's here and knows that it's important, but we've never really asked people to become members.
Right.
And this was a big shift for us, but it's an important shift. So if you watch the Bennington Select Board meeting, if your grandmother watches a church service, if you just think that the right to free speech is important, we would love for you, I'm starting to lose my voice.
We've been talking a lot today, so.
We would love for you to become a member of Cat TV. I feel like we're having one of those PBS member drives.
Yeah, well, we need to, quite honestly.
We do.
So, again, like to echo off of you, if your child's graduating in a couple weeks, or your grandchild, and you're going to sit home and enjoy that, in the comfort of your own home where you don't have to necessarily venture down there, I think that's worth $25 right there.
Absolutely.
And it just keeps us going. We have a skeleton crew, if you will, so we need funding.
And we need the community support. We just, by becoming a member, it really adds to our value, and I think that's something that's important.
And don't forget, not only do we offer individual memberships, so if you're part of a business that would like to support Cat TV as well, we have that for both commercial and nonprofit. So there's lots of opportunities, lots of ways to join us and to make sure that that we're still here next year and 5 years and hopefully another 30 years down the road.
So I just want to thank our crew today.
Yes.
Mike and Josh and Jim and Tony and our board members, Marcia and Alex, and all the people that came on to talk with us today. It's really been a great day, and we're so happy that Mayfest is back. We want to thank Mike Baker for the use of his trailer.
We wouldn't be here without it, honestly. Let's just be honest. So.
I'll give another shout out to my mom, just in case she's watching. Hi, Mom.
Yep.
And I think we're going to close it out for the day, but please consider becoming a member. It's so super easy, and it means so much to us. So,
well, I got nothing more.
Closing it out.
Thank
Another
you.
successful Mayfest. Bye.
Library, Linda and I, children's librarians, love being members at Cat TV. Our membership is easy and affordable. They have great camera guys, and we are so thrilled that they have been filming our Read Around the Block episodes.
Hi, I'm Jonas Spivak. I'm the communications coordinator for the town of Bennington, but I'm also a member of Cat TV. I'm one of the people that gets to help include content that then shows up on our local cable channel stations, which is really valuable for us as the town and really great for the community as a whole.
And 30 years is a long time to be serving our community.
Yeah.
We watch Cat TV, and we're really, really happy to be members and to be contributing content to Cat TV. So,
we look forward to a continued relationship. Happy 30 years!
Southwestern Vermont Medical Center is so pleased and proud to be a member of Cat TV. Cat TV does so much for this community. They work with the hospital to produce our medical show that we do weekly to try to inform the public, not only of what's been going on during the pandemic, but what we see in the future and what services we offer here at Southwestern Vermont Medical Center.
It's really fun to be a volunteer and really easy to learn how to do it. I work with the team over at Cat TV, and with some training, you too can be a content provider for our community, and I hope you consider doing so.
What an awesome partnership we've had with Cat TV over the last 30 years, helping us in the community, helping us solve crime, getting our information out there, and being so supportive of us here at the Bennington Police Department. Thank you so much, congratulations, and hopefully for many years of continued success with Cat TV.
Cat TV has helped businesses throughout our region promote themselves and really help the community thrive.